on the edge of a cliff. Realize there must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from him, send with me tonight.
My channel is about all things chronic illness, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey guys, happy Saturday. Everyone is doing well. I'm sitting here trying to let the car cool off. It is so hot. Like, I just walked out the door and I'm pouring sweat. It's hot in Florida. Wanted to give you guys an update. I've recorded an update a couple times and deleted each one because I was pretty angry, I guess. You guys know I've been going back and forth with the GI doctor, trying to get my results, trying to get answers to, like, why am I having this pain? Why am I, losing all this weight? Why do I have diarrhea every single day? Why is it that food can't stay down or in me, more than an hour? So yeah, I've just been really frustrated. So I reached out to the medical group's admin office to file a complaint. And so I'm thinking, like, the lady was super nice. She was like, which department did you have a problem with? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get with our admin, they'll give you a call shortly. So I'm thinking, like, oh, someone from the higher up was gonna call me. But guess who calls? It was the GI's office manager, who I also left a message for, that did not call me back. She had an attitude that was like from jump. Like, I answered the phone because it'll pop up that it's the hospital, and she's like, hi, this is such and such with gastroenterology. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't know who she was. And she's like, I'm the office manager, and I got the message that you had or was having some issues or had a complaint. So I had to, I'm like half asleep, trying to compose myself to, like, you wake me up with the attitude because y'all aren't doing y'all's job. So I proceeded to tell her politely my frustration. Her response was, well, she called me on Wednesday, and she said, well, the doctor is in procedures today, tomorrow, and Friday, so I'll have to see if she can come back to the office in between procedures. And then she's like, let me just call her. Like, that's how she started. And I'm like, okay, do what you do, boo. Like, what? So that happened. And so then, let's back up. Before I called admin's office, I sent one more portal message with my frustration. So the next response I get from the portal is from the actual doctor. And, she's like, I apologize. I had one of my colleagues review your stuff, and he doesn't feel you need to have the ERCP procedure, where they kind of closely look closer in the bile ducts, the pancreas, liver, all of that stuff. And I said, well, what do you think, I should do? I said, I've lost 20 pounds since June, and, I'm like, doctors are holding my Plaquenil and Humira, because at first they didn't know, like, is it that's causing you to have all these issues? She was like, oh, well, I don't see why you need to hold that anymore. That pissed me off. And then, I was like, I said, I know you mentioned exploratory surgery. And I mentioned EUS, which is a different type of endoscopic ultrasound type procedure. And then she kind of came back and was like, well, I can't force my colleagues to do anything because she doesn't do these specific procedures, which I didn't know that. Because when we were going over this whole game plan in her office, she didn't even fail to mention I don't do these procedures. So at that point, I'm like, okay, you know, first off, I never asked you to force anyone to do anything. I'm just trying to find answers for what I'm having to deal with. Sorry, my phone's getting overheated. And the struggle, because I'm sick as a dog. Like, my blood sugar is dropping. Like, as soon as I'm eating, I'm on the toilet, and then I'm trying to eat something like a snack, some fruit, just so I don't pass out because I'm shaking. Like, she tried, it was like a nice nasty compassion, if that's a thing. And I'll try to insert the email trail that you guys can like put in like pause and read from her. So she was like, well, there is a doctor in Alabama that can do this specific procedure. If you want, I can send the referral to them. So my next response is, fine, send that referral. Also, like, my gastroparesis, where does that stand? Like, I needed to know those results. So she's trying to say my gastroparesis is mild. Fine, if that's what you say. Okay. So when I hung up, after finished emailing, the office manager calls me Friday morning. She calls me to tell me that she sent the referral, because we pretty much were emailing back and forth Wednesday and Thursday. So she was like, hey, I sent your referral to the doctor in Alabama, which is not, it's like close to where I grew up. So I'm like, okay, thank you. Why did that GI doctor, call me before? It was like 10 o'clock on Friday, like within like an hour of her sending that doggone message, referral, they called me and got me on the schedule for this procedure that I need. And they're going to schedule a lot of time that if he gets in and he sees something with the initial diagnostic EUS, then he will go ahead and do the ERCP while I'm there. How hard is that? Like, he's never seen me a day in his life, but yeah, I can get on their schedule quicker. And then, in the meantime, on Thursday, on Wednesday, I did call my old GI doctor, and I do have an appointment with him, the first part of October, just to have someone in the city, to take over my care, because this healthcare disparity in people of color is so real, and it's so frustrating, it's so aggravating. That's why a lot of us die young, because we get so frustrated with having to tell people to believe what we're dealing with, or for them to even care what we're dealing with. And so a lot of times we just was like, I'm not going to go to the doctor, I'm not going to go to the hospital, because what are they going to do? And her response, because I told her in one of my messages, like, hey, I really don't feel comfortable, going to the ER. I'm like, my pain on a good day is an 8 out of 10 with my stomach. On a bad day, it's a 20. And me having lupus, is not like a place like I want to be right now in the middle of a pandemic to go to the ER. And, you know, her response was like, oh, well, you can go there and just get a repeat pancreas imaging. It's called an MP or something. And I was like, why would I pay to get this repeated and I just had it done on August 13th? What sense does that make? And I told her every set of images that I've had since November keeps finding incidental findings that you guys are saying is nothing, but it's something because it was not there a year or 2 years ago. So this is the stuff that I've been dealing with. And so it makes me so angry. Then I'm in a bad mood because I'm not sleeping good. I'm in so much pain. Most days I'm stuck in the bed at least 5 hours to 6 out of the flipping day. Like today, like I didn't get up till right at 11:30. Like, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I going to stop fighting? No, but I'm tired. So next week we're traveling to Alabama this is like 5.5 hours away, to get with my rheumatologist, for that appointment. And then I'll have my procedure. It's on the 17th. And she's saying that it will take probably up to 4 hours. That's from like me checking in, getting IV, the procedure, if you had to go in and do the other extensive one, all of that. So just keep me in your prayers. But I wanted to give you guys an update, but I didn't want to be angry. I'm angry, but I'm more frustrated because we should not have to go through this. As a woman of color and just as a person in general with a chronic illness, like, doctors don't have compassion. You know, I can see if a person is aggravating you, and I don't even say that, like, you know, some people want to call for everything, but if a person has never really bugged you, like, take them serious. Like, how is it okay for a person to lose 20 pounds every day? Is more weight is keep being lost? How is that not alarming? And I'm pretty sure when I see the rheumatologist, he's gonna be like, what happened from me leaving in May to you coming to see me now? Like, because I last saw him in May. I'm sorry, he left in June, but I last saw him in May. He's gonna be like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't just, like, it's just a lot. It really is. So I'm heading to go. I've been sitting here in the driveway. I'm heading to go to the dollar store. Football is back, yay. So we're just gonna do like some appetizer type party items for us while we watch, and then we have like a parent information meeting for track at like 6 o'clock tonight. So we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys be blessed, but thank you for all your prayers, and I will continue to keep you guys updated on everything.